Hi everyone, it's Judy. Welcome back to Rose Lane. Today I want to work a little bit on showing you how something is done. It was a piece that I did about 3 years ago it was one of the pieces that I put in my Olivia journal about 3 years ago. I think this one was done. And I've been seeing a couple of people doing it lately on their videos, and I'm sorry, I was down at our women's ministries and we were painting Easter ornaments. I've got paint under my fingernails. Anyway, and everybody struggles, and I understand why, to try to get this straight. So what it is actually is about an 8.5 by 8.5 piece of paper, and it's just how it's folded to make this kind of neat pocket that you can put a tag in and a tag in and even a tag or something in here. You can even put a pocket on the back and put another tag back there. It's really very neat and pretty and cute. The original one I did 3 years ago, I did on tea stain paper, and I cut all these pieces, okay, out of other paper and glued them on. I think I had left the back plain, so that could be journaled on as well. And the inside, I think, was just the coffee or tea stain. In this case, I'm doing what I've seen some other people doing, is they're doing it right on with digital paper, or you can also use scrapbook paper. The problem for me is my digitals print like this with a border, okay? So I have to cut them off. So this is the easiest way that I have found to try to do these as quickly as possible. So I've already trimmed these, and as you can tell, they're not all trimmed equally. So what I want to do here is I want to cut them. I would cut them at 8.5, but I'm going to measure here. Okay. And this is a great trimmer to measure with, because if you just line it up with this wire that's in here, that tells you exactly where you start. And this is where it's going to. So it's going to about 8. Okay. So if it's going to 8, let's make sure that these go to 8 as well, because I am going to cut them all together. So this is going to get trimmed down just a little bit so that these will match. Okay, 8 is fine. All right, so if I'm going to do 8, I'll do 8. So this is going to be an 8 by 8 instead of 8.5 by 8.5. And let me get that over just a little bit more. There we go. Oh, let me put this one back on too. That would be nice, right? There we go. That way these are all basically, hopefully, pretty much the same. So it makes it a little bit easier. All right, so you've got your extra pieces here. Just put them to the side for right now. Let's move these over. And let's try to get all of these the same width. We're going to do the same thing here. Line them all up, put them on 8, and cut them there. Okay. All right. Now I have made templates, and the template actually for me for this one was 8 and a 16th. These are going to be 8 by 8. Okay, so they're going to be just a little bit smaller. And take those and put them over there. Okay, we're done with this. All right, I believe. So this, to me, is the easiest way to try to get this straight, okay? And that is, take a ruler, okay? And I'm going to try to, this ruler does not line up right at the end, so I have to, it's got like a little space here. So I am lining up where I should start at 1, you know, or 0, I guess. Lining it up there, and I'm going to go over here, okay? So, and you can do this if you have a big board that's got, you know, a cutting board. So I'm just a hair over 11 1/4. So half of 11 is 5 1/2, half of 1/4 is 1/8. So 5 1/2 and 1/8, which is 1, 2 here. And I'm just going to put a tiny dot, pencil dot right there. Okay, That was really a tiny pencil dot. There it is. Okay. All right, I'm gonna now turn the paper around to the other 2 points and make sure that I am in the middle with my dot, okay? 5 1/2 and 1/8 right there. There's my pencil. I'm gonna try to make it just a hair bigger, not heavy, because you wanna erase it, okay? I'm gonna take my small ruler because it's easier to use. I generally make these 4 inches wide, okay? Because I just think that works better for me. So let me find that. So 4 inches wide means I'm gonna put the 2 inch on my dot, okay? And I'm gonna put a line or a dot here at 4 and a dot over here at the very beginning. So that's 2 inches to the middle and 2 inches to the middle, okay? So now what you're gonna do, if you can see the dots, this is hard to see the dots for me. Where have I put them? I think it's this one. So I'm gonna make a line here that makes it easier for me to see it. 2 inches. Where is my other line? Where are you? I think it's right there, but I can't be sure. This one is tough for me. All right, 2 inches. There's 4. And I'm trying to find where I put the other dot. 4 and 4. Oh, there it is. Okay, right where it ought to be. There's the line. Make a line. It's easier on this one. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold over to that line from this side to that side, okay? And you don't have to press it down completely hard this time. Open it up. Now see, my line is here, my fold is here. All right, so what I want to do is bring that back out a little bit because that is going to fold over into this line and we don't want to do that. So this is because it's not exactly what it ought to be. So we're just going to back this up just a little bit. Try this. Here's my mark. I'm backing it up just a little bit away from that, and then I'll bring it out. Okay, press it down. And then the same thing here, all right, right about where the fold is. You're gonna go straight, okay? What you wanna find is this, the same measurement, okay? And this happens to be 3 and just shy of 3 3/4, okay? It's kind of like in the halfway between the two. So I'm measuring from these points to these points, 3 3/4, and it is halfway. So that is equal here to here. So now, bone folder, you can press that down, and that is straight, okay? Now, this is sticking out a little bit, so I think I'm just gonna back it up a hair, but I know it's straight if I back it up, okay? Done. Now what you wanna do is you wanna fold this up. This is actually, it's easier for me to do on the right side, so let me do that. Get in there, okay. You wanna fold, well, let me get this. I want you to be able to see, and right here, it's hard to see, all right? So I'm gonna just distress this just a bit. I think that side will be enough for what I need. I'm gonna bring this up until this, okay, this edge is equal with this edge, all right? So you bring that up till it's equal with that and line it up on the side right here and right there, and it can go just a smidge over. There we go, all right? Oh, I hope that wasn't, let's try that again on screen. You're gonna bring this edge to equal, you know, to go right up against that edge. This really isn't that hard, and I don't know why I'm so tongue-tied tonight. Just tired, I guess. Very wound up, lots of work being done. Okay, so that covers that edge, and it looks equal pretty much on both sides here. Just tip that over a bit, and then you press it down here, okay? I find it's easiest to take my ruler. Let me see if you can see this. I'm using the Distress ink so that you can see it a little bit better. And I'm going to take my ruler and put it right to the edge, to those 2 points, okay? Just to those 2 points. Line that up. And then just fold it back, okay? Take your bone folder, put that down. That looks pretty darn good. And there you have it. There's your piece, okay? So it takes a little measuring, but once you're done with it, okay, and we're gonna do this for this, what you can do is, this is one I made if I'm doing an 8.5 by 8.5, okay, exactly like a coffee stained or just a regular stain, which I'll do in a minute. It's a template. That's all I've done, is made a little template. Let me see if I can find the other one. This one may be a little too wide because these were, no, actually I think it'll fit. So all I did for this was I measured how wide it was. Now this is made, okay, and you just measure how wide this is, more or less, and this can come, well, no, it kind of fits. It's in there, it's in there, okay? You measure how wide it is. Then you've got the point. So you put the piece, let me just kind of show you. I'll show you on this end because it doesn't matter if there's a point on both ends. It really doesn't. You only need one end. So imagine this is just a straight piece. Forget this is, you know, cut, okay? So you do that, bring it up high enough to make a point, all right? Now what I'll do, my mat up here, because for me this is a little bit easier. You can either draw a pencil line and cut it with scissors, or you can draw a pencil line and cut it on your cutter. For me, I prefer to do it this way. So I just line it up with the edge of the paper, both ends, okay? And trim that corner off, and that's done. Then I turn it around, do the same thing over here, line it up with the edge of the paper. I'm getting clear on my ruler. Line it up with the edge of the paper and cut that corner off, and you have your template. That is all there is to it. So now I can take this, let's do a different one. Let's do this one because this is a nice different color, okay? Kind of the flowers go any which way. I guess it really doesn't matter. So this is what you're gonna do now. You're gonna take this, I'm going to turn this towards me, okay, just so that I can, hopefully I've been on screen here. And you're going to line up your edges, okay, line it up with the point. I don't know how well you can see that because I've got black under there. With this lined up here, all you have to do now is take your bone folder, your fingers, whatever, and just fold that along the edge. When you make your template, a decent piece of cardstock or, you know, cardboard or something, make sure that one is where it belongs. This is tight up against there, and then do it on the other side as well. So you do the first one by measuring, okay, and it really isn't that hard. And then you make a template out of it, and there you go. Okay, so you have that one. Let me get my bone folder. And then you have this one. Hopefully they are the same. You're going to measure from corner or point to point. Now this one is about 3 3/4, okay? You turn this to this side, and that is 3 3/4. I'm hoping you can see that. I'm not sure if you can. Then you're going to take this, you're going to fold this edge to this edge, okay, like that. You're going to line that up. Okay, make sure it's centered on both sides, and I know this is a dark paper on dark background. You're going to line that up, press it down, crease it, get your ruler, whoops, without the paper, and line it up to the two little corners here, here, and here. All right, press that back a little bit. It just gives you a guide. Turn that down and bone fold. And number 2 is done. Okay, so that's that one. That shows you just how fast these go. I've got all kinds of stuff here. Same thing, decide which way you want your paper to go. Okay, I want my paper this way. So I have to turn it so I can see it. Otherwise I have to stick my head in and you don't want to see that. So line it up here, okay, with the edges. And just fingers, bone folder, nothing sharp, because you don't want to tear your paper, okay? Just fold that down for, oh, that looks pretty together, doesn't it? And then this one, same thing. Bring it to the edge of your paper. Just fold it up against the edge of that cardstock. All right. And take that out. Fold that if you want to check first. Let's check first. And that is 3 3/4. And this is 3 3/4. So it is straight. And you do that, and you do that. And which way was up? This way was up. Okay, so I like, if you're left-handed, maybe that way's better, but for me, right-handed is better. So I line this edge with this edge. Okay. Make sure it's more or less centered here. I'm knocking my tools off. Go a little bit higher there, okay? Do that. Take this. Doobity-doo. Okay, a little fold there. Go down like that. And number 2, this is number 3, right? Look at how quickly they're going together. Oh, look, I have 3 of the same thing. Okay, here's another one. So we're just going to sort of mass make these. This is all we're going to do. And then probably maybe in a subsequent video, we can, I'm just lining up that point with the point in the paper, if I can get it to stop moving on me. In a subsequent one, perhaps we'll make some tags and maybe like extra pockets or something, some other things that we can put in and on the come on now, stop it, these pockets, because like I said, you can do quite a bit with them. You can make them pretty fancy, you know, or not. Doesn't have to be. You can leave them plain. You can add lace, depending on how bulky you might, you know, not care how bulky they might be for a standalone piece. 3 3/4 again. 3 3/4 again, I believe. Yeah, it might be a hair off, but that's okay. I think I'm all right with it. Bone folder. Which way is up now? Because I keep spinning it around. I think that way is up. So that makes sense. All right, and then line this up with the edge right here. Okay, make sure more or less it is centered. Okay, there we go. Bone folder, ruler. And like I said, you can glue these shut if that's what you prefer, or you can just clip them and clip them into your book. You know, we'll make pretty paper clips for them and clip them into your journal. And I was a little off on that one. And then, you know, they can come out. And like I said, we can put a pocket on the back. You know, we can do that with, if we wanted to do it with, where's the ones that go with this? Some of this on the back, like this, and put another pocket on like that on the back. You can, this is going to be a pocket. This is a pocket. You can use this as a pocket. And my original one, I glued this tip down and I just had something slide in there, but you don't have to if you're going to hold it together with a paper clip. Doesn't matter. When you open it up here, if you wanted to, you could put a pocket here or little tucks or whatever you would want, or just leave it plain. However you think you would want to decorate it up. So we have that one. We had this one. We already did this blue one. I've got, you know what, I'll do, these are the other two that I was going to do. Let's do this one because it should go that way, shouldn't it? So let's just go ahead and do this one. Let's get my template. Let's line that up here. Now, this template, like I said, is made for this. Sometimes you get digitals, and if you're printing with a border, it just depends on the digital, and I can't figure out why. I want to make sure I'm still filming. It looks like I am. I can't figure out why, but sometimes I get a narrower white border with some digitals, and others I get a wider one. I don't know why that is. So keep that in mind when you're doing these, to make sure that, you know, your template is actually fitting the size of the paper that you have. So make sure you measure the paper. That's 3 3/4 again. That is 3 3/4 again. So bone fold, whoa. And then bring this up to line up with the edge of that paper. Again, you're going to line that corner with this corner and that along the edge. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Make sure that it is centered here, side to side, and still covering that fold there. And then take the ruler and bring it down. Now the next one I'm going to do, I'm going to leave these other two that I have, you know, ready to go before. I want to make sure I get the other one done. That's pretty, right? Pretty. Love it. These papers, this are from I think it's Selkie, Selkie Creative Design. I think I'll put it in the link. This lace is white. It's called, I believe it's called white lace from Weathered Textures. I will also put that in the link, as a link below. These are, oh, golly, I can't remember. And I think this paper came from Liana's scrap, but I'm not sure. This printy paper, I can't remember. And off the top of my head, I can't remember this, oh golly. I can't remember, but I'll put them in the link. That's all of these, okay? These florals. They're called 19th century botanicals or something. Okay. Anyway. So here we have a regular, this is cream colored, a regular 8.5 by 11. So we know this is 8.5. So we're going to cut this one also down to 8.5, where those other ones were 8. This one is 8.5. Now keep in mind when you coffee dye, and this is not, or tea dye, this is just a cream colored paper on its own. The paper will shrink in one direction, which is why you may get like 8 3/16 instead of 8 1/2 or something like that. So this one would then be done with a 4-inch. Okay, that's what this one is. So let me turn this around so I can see I have 4-inch down here. So I know. So if you're using scrap of paper or an 8.5 by 11, or yeah, it has to be the 8.5 by 11. If you're using A4, I think it's 8 by 11.5. You'd use this template like I used for these, where I cut off the border. But if you don't have to cut off your border on a digital, lucky you, or if you're using like a paper like this, that would be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. So here you want to measure and make sure this is 4 inches. Go to this corner. This is 4 inches. So we are good there. So this is going to be slightly bigger. Same thing. All right. Let me, oh, here. Just so that you can see what we're doing here. Okay. Just a little bit. So stop that. Stop it. So we're going to bring this edge, this corner to this corner, and then line up along the edge. Okay. So this corner to this corner, and then line up along the edge. Make sure you're centered here. Fold that there. So it doesn't matter what size paper you're using, okay? You could probably do this with a 12 by 12. It would be ginormous. It wouldn't fit. Somebody's above me. Like if you hear the creaking. It wouldn't fit in a journal, but there you go. All right, and you can see this one a little bigger than that one. It doesn't matter the size of the paper. Okay, it just has to be square. So that's all you have to worry about. So you can either leave this plain. If it was coffee dyed, it would have a little more interest. And then you could just, you know, add bits, like maybe just some fussy cuts or die cuts or, you know, something like that. And you can leave it just like that and put your tags in. Or you can cut whole pieces to cover, panels to cover the whole thing, if that's what you wanted to do. A lot more work, and that is what I did in my original one 3 years ago. So anyway, I just wanted to show you how easy that is. It's just a matter of, you know what, let me do this again. Let me show you on this one. Let me just go ahead and get this one more time. This is the 8.5 by 11. Oh, gotta open this. Okay, so 8.5, I'm going to cut this one to 8.5 because we know this is. All right, take that, move that over there, put this back down, and then get your ruler and your pencil, which I've buried. All right, and hopefully I am in frame. Am I in frame? I am. Hopefully my head won't be. And line that up there. Okay, come on, come on. And this, like I said, would be 4 inches. Okay, so this goes to just about 12. It looks like it is 12 inches from here to here. So what you really want to do is make sure you've got those points. Okay, half of 12 is 6. Okay, now you're gonna, let me do my little one again because that's easier to see. From that point there, you're gonna, I only want it 4 inches wide. So I go here, 4 inches, 4 inches, okay? We're gonna bring this over to just shy of the mark, okay? Just shy of the mark. Point it right there. Do a slight fold there just in case you're wrong. And this one just shy of the mark. Can you see that? Here's my pencil again. There's the mark, and I'm going to bring the point just shy of it. And there, okay? Then take your ruler and make sure you are at, come here, 4 inches. Get that one a little more folded down there so I can hold it. And 4 inches. And you are just about right there. Fold that down. Okay, that down. Bring this edge up to that edge there. And where this one is a little shy, you're still gonna just line it up. But you're covering that edge, okay? And fold that there. Bone fold. So like I said, once you do, if you wanted a mass make and all your papers are the same size, do one do that measurement. Okay, that could go a little higher actually because that point is too low. Alrighty. Let me bring it back some. You can either bring this up higher or just bring this up higher. So I'm gonna just bring this up higher is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try anyway. Try to get that point there, and I'm just gonna do that, okay? So whatever size your papers are, if you're gonna mass make especially, make sure they're all the same size. Measure the middle, like I showed you, okay? Across this way and across that way, so that you know that you have your dot right smack in the middle. Then 2 inches on either side of that dot, okay, for a 4-inch wide piece. And then you fold these over to just short of that dot. A little closer, I wouldn't go any further away from that, okay? And then you fold them over. Before you completely press it down, make sure from corner to corner here, it's 4 inches, and from corner to corner here, it's 4 inches. Then you can press it down, and then you fold this up to line up with the edge here. Then you fold this down to go to the point on the bottom. When you have this done, then you take a piece of cardstock, and let me see if I can find something. Let me see, assorted cardstocks in here. See if I have something big enough. We'll make a new one for this. Will this be big enough? I've got another. Here, let's do one in green. I think I can get away with doing one in green here. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, so let me put this back. If I'm hitting the wires or the camera jiggling, I'm sorry. Okay, so now what you're gonna do to make your template is put this in here, okay? Fold this over, find your fold here, okay? Which I don't know if you can see it, but it's right here. So draw your line there. You're probably gonna need to trim it just a little bit. Get your cutter, either your trimmer or, you know, on a mat or something like that. I'm showing you how to make this template. Cut that off. Put that down here. Let's see if it folds inside. Folds inside perfectly. You're gonna push this up to the top, making sure that that's completely covered. Okay, and then like I said, for me, I prefer to use my little, whoa, that wasn't even covered. That could have been bad. Let me just pull this up so I'm sure I have a little bit more space there. That's good. Line it up here, right along the edge of that paper, and trim. You can save these. Who knows what you can do with those, right? Turn it this way. Line it up here. And there is your template for this. Now, I don't have another cream colored one, but I have a piece of white. So let's just do it on the piece of white. We're gonna cut this down to 8.5, just so that I can show you how easily and quickly that template works. Okay, 8.5 by 8.5. That down here. Take the template you just made, line it up with the edges of the paper, fold, fold. This is a tough paper. This is a thicker paper. All right. Then you're gonna fold in this way, fold that in this way. Measure to make sure you are equal as soon as you find your ruler again. Where'd your ruler go? Where'd my ruler? Here it is. Okay. So this should be just about 4 inches, and there it is, 4 inches. Okay, and this is a little over. So I want, let's see, I think it's this way. All right, there we go. All right, that way and that way. Then let me get my bone folder, fold it down. There we are. Fold this up to cover that edge. Center it this way so that you're not over anywhere. I know the white's a lot harder to see, but at least for me. Line those up there with the ends. Fold that down. Bone folder. And there you go. There you go. So you measure it out, do one, fold it around a piece of cardstock, cut it out, and then you just mass make from the template. And that, my dears, is all there is to that. I mean, look at how many we did while we were sitting here. We did all of this while we were sitting here. So that is how you make what I call my angled pocket. We've only been doing this for 36 minutes. And I showed you how to do a couple of the templates. I've showed you how to do, you know, how to use the templates and the different sizes and all of that kind of stuff. So that's it. Hopefully this will help people who are trying to do this. And like I said, I will link the original video from 3 years ago in the description box. I don't show this. I just say that I had measured, but I did show how I did all the pieces when I glued different pieces on. But this is a whole lot quicker, honestly, if you do it double-sided like this. So that's it for now, guys. I hope this is helpful, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of people out there doing these soon. So in the meantime, guys, sooner or later I'll get to this, and we'll make tags and stuff for all of this stuff. And yeah, that'll be it. So in the meantime, guys, be blessed, be happy, and be safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.